Yeah, for those of you that want to know what we're all about, it's like this, y'all. This is 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure.
Do you feel that online schooling or going through the military to get schooling done is better than going to a college?
Better than going to college.
I think it depends on what you're ready for when the time comes. Not everybody's ready to go straight to school right after high school. If that's something that you're interested in, then that's great if it works for you. Otherwise, going to online school lets you get into the workforce a little bit, maybe get some job experience. Going to the military, you gain technical skills while you can be going to school in the Air Force. So you're gaining college credits just by going to tech school, and then on top of that, you'll tuition assistance program, which will allow you to go to school for free. And it's really fast to get an associate's degree, and then military will pay for bachelor's all the way through master's degree, even a doctorate if you have the time. So.
Yeah, on top of that, like you said, experience. And that experience at the end, when you get out, will actually put you above and beyond most college students.
The trick is getting into a career field in the Air Force that you want to be in on the outside. You know, if you're not obviously you don't want to if you want to go into a career field and you're going to get out and go be a construction person, then that's not going to help you much. But if you find the right job in the military that's going to match what you want to do on the outside, then you're gaining that experience, that job knowledge while you're in too. So,
when you go through schooling in the Air Force, do you have like certain jobs that you can go through?
Yeah, before you join the military, you have the option of depending on what your scores are for. ASVAB. Depending on what your ASVAB scores are, you might be able to get a guaranteed job when you come into the military. So, depending on which job you pick is going to depend on what technical school, which will basically get you the technical skills you need to be ready to learn your job when you get to your base.
There's lots of jobs, and you can pick anything.
When you get done doing your schooling, is there like a job for that you went through for your schooling? Like if you went through engineering, is there engineering jobs after your schooling?
Well, I mean, the schooling you get in the military is to prepare you for your jobs. Yeah, I mean, if you're going through to be CE, they're going to prepare you to learn your job as CE, whatever it's going to be. And then there's continuation training.
Civil engineering.
Yeah. CE is civil engineering. So there you go, the military acronym thing. I'm going to get you with that. Ask if I do that again, just say something. But yeah, it's there to prepare you for the job that you're going to do. And then there's continuation training after that. A lot of different jobs have continuation training, like 7-level school for some of the maintenance career fields. You have a school you have to attend before you can rank up.
Do you want to know about what kind of engineering though? Can you clarify that?
Like if you wanted to, like diesel. I don't know. I just gave an example to get an idea.
Mechanic?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we got to have equipment maintenance. They work on stuff that most people will never see. The sky's the limit. If you're an age mechanic, you'll actually get trained on diesels. All kinds of different diesels. Then the CE guys, they do power generation.
Yeah, they do the base power generation stuff. Then you also have the vehicle maintenance guys that do like all the heavy vehicles. We have tow vehicles that actually move aircraft around on the flight line, and it's their job to repair the engines on those.
Yeah, and give you an idea, they weigh about 110,000 pounds in weight, and
they're moving
400,000 pounds.
400,000+ pound aircraft around on the flight line.
They're big. So yeah, diesel mechanics.
Is there a system where you can go just on the weekends to get your schooling done in the Air Force and that?
Where you can what?
Just go on like weekends? Like go every weekend?
Reserve components, 1 weekend a month, 2 weeks out of the year.
Yeah, that's yeah, but you don't have access to the same benefits as you do when you're active duty. There
Do
are
they get the same?
no, not for tuition assistance.
They don't
and
get
stuff
tuition
like that. It's
assistance?
for
What you guys did?
duty. They have some for it, but it's more like scholarships and grants. What they do have is there's some of the active duty enlisted programs. I don't remember what it's called now, but it used to be called Bootstrap. And basically what they do is they send you to school. You're still enlisted in the military, and they give you they pay you to go to schools. You can come back
2
as an
years or
officer.
something like that.
Yeah, I
You
think
have to
it's
have
like
2 years to finishing your degree.
you have to be within 2 years of finishing your degree, and there's a bunch of other stipulations and stuff like that. But they pay you to go to school. They pay you a housing stipend, so you have a place to live. They pay you some money for food so you can eat and all that stuff. But at the end of all that, it's kind of a commissioning program. What they're trying to do is they want you to come back as an officer instead of as an enlisted guy.
And you owe them so many years.
Yeah, it's called deserving airmen. And so what the program basically ends up being is they get you your degree, they pay you to get your degree, and then you have a service commitment on the backside, basically saying that, okay, the Air Force paid for you to get your degree, now we want something back from you, and that's time. So you're going to stay in the military. You're basically agreeing that you're going to stay in the military as an officer for a certain amount of time.
Do you have to live on base?
For while you're in that program.
Do you have, like, out of the program, do you have an opportunity to live on base, or are you allowed to live off base?
Oh yeah, no. If you're in the military, you have the option to live on base or off. It depends. As an airman, you're going to live on base up until a certain rank, and then you get to go off base. Unless you're married, then you can live wherever you'd like. But most of the housing for Air Force bases anymore is contracted. So living off base or living in base housing is kind of like living off base anyway.
Yeah. So yeah, whatever you want to do, you can do whatever you want. Just gotta realize that at any given moment, you're told to get up and move and go to another base. It's kind of hard to do when you own a house.
Is there any benefits to living on base?
There's quite a few benefits to living on base. The least of which is security. To get to my house, you have to go through a military police checkpoint, which basically gives you
experience.
Which basically gives you and it depends. Like some of the base housing is actually on the base. Here, you go off base to get to base housing, but you go through another gate where there's a military police there to check neighborhood are authorized to be there. So that's one benefit. Another benefit to base housing is the Air Force community involvement. You're talking about the services and things that are made available to service members just because you're in the military is huge. My son can go to the youth center around the corner. And they offer all kinds of crazy things. He's in soccer for I think we paid $15 for him to go and be part of the soccer team and stuff like that. On the outside, it's way more expensive.
They have the Taekwondo, don't they?
They offer all sorts of classes. There's benefits for spouses being on base for that kind of thing.
Base pool.
There's the base pool. There's all the services that are provided there. The bowling alley. We actually have like a giant pool area that has like a water slide and stuff like that. So there's a lot of benefits to living on base.
Yeah, well, that's like $2 or something like that. It's cheap. It's real cheap.
Do you feel like you had a better education in the Air Force?
Do I feel like I have better education in the Air Force as compared to what?
Like, do you feel like it's more advanced than like going to an actual college?
I don't know if it's more advanced. I would say that it's more specific. It's more targeted. When you join the military, they're training you for a specific job, and so the schooling that you go to is tailored specifically to that. I'm an aircraft maintenance technician. I work on electrical components and things like that for and air components for aircraft. And so on the outside, when you go to school for aviation, it's a general aviation degree. Is what you get. You learn about a lot of different parts of the aircraft, but my job specifically is just flight controls and navigation, things like that. So the training that I received is specific towards that. Like I don't go out, when I went through tech school and stuff like that, they're not teaching me how the air conditioning system on the airplane works or how bleed air works or any of that stuff. They're teaching me specifically how does autopilot work and does the navigation systems on the aircraft work and things like that. So we're way more technical and specific than a general college degree would be.
And to add to that, I worked Evergreen International part-time. They have A&P mechanics that actually got the general degree. They got their stuff outside. I felt that they were not as good at their job as most of the guys I was around because we could actually run circles around them.
The jack of all trades.
They were yeah, exactly. And they were having major problems trying to get stuff fixed because they really couldn't focus on the problem. So
they have a general idea of how to fix the overall airplane, but not the specific systems. Like if it broke for something that was a little bit more in depth, they might be a little out of their league.
Yeah, because we get down in the weeds, what we call it, really down into it. We look at stuff in what micro?
Yeah, a little bit more
microscopic, and they're more macro, so they're way out. So they're general.
Does your test scores determine what job you're going to be doing in the Air Force?
Your test scores for eligibility for certain jobs, yes. There's nothing that's close to you in the military as long as you have a high enough score. So for avionics technicians, it takes a higher score than is required for APG or to be a military police officer and things like that. It's an aptitude test like anything else. It measures how likely you are to succeed at those jobs.
Yeah, they usually pick jobs that fit you.
Is there any way that you're not able to go into the Air Force?
There are disqualifying factors, felonies.
No high school diploma.
No high school diploma.
That'll get you out.
You can get it with a GED now, I think. No.
Now the Marines won't let you without a high school diploma.
Not graduating high school. That's a disqualifying factor now. There are weight requirements. You have to be physically fit. You can't be.
Or you can too skinny can keep you out too. Yeah. That actually does.
So that apparently that's a possibility. But any recruiter would be able to tell you the disqualifying requirements. They're actually having too many traffic tickets can disqualify you. I was close on that one for me. I like to go fast. So I was one ticket away from not being able to be in the military. So be careful.
And that comes down to clearances. Clearances can actually get you get in, but then when they start doing the clearances, they probably won't get your job.
Right.
That's
so
too.
Yeah. So you could come in with guaranteed job to come and do what I do, right? And I need a secret clearance to do my job. But if I came in and they did a background check on me and found out that there was something in my past that would have disqualified me from that secret clearance, I would lose my job. I wouldn't be able to continue down that career path and keep my job.
Pick something else.
Yeah, they have you pick something else.
And usually it's not something you want.
Well, that's all. Thank you.
No problem.